Hi guys, we're doing balanced posture in this book, Dress Selection and Design. So this is where we reached. It says, although no people are exactly alike in build, there is a balanced posture for all, whether at rest or in motion. Posture is the relative arrangement of the different parts of the body. I'm assuming they mean the bones. The skeletal parts. Dr. Janet A. Wessel rates posture good if there is a minimum expenditure of energy to maintain the best balance of the body in its many positions at rest or in motion. Makes sense. And more specifically, the body is in best balance when a perpendicular line passes through the tip of the ear, center of shoulder, slightly behind center of hips, and slightly in front of center of knee and outer ankle bone. How to acquire balanced standing posture. The figure shown here will help you visualize well-balanced standing posture. Supposedly, so let's see, vertical line passes through tip of ear, center of shoulder, that's supposed to be the tip of the ear, then the center of shoulder, then slightly behind center of hips, and then the knee, center, and outer ankle bone. It says, if you assume the position before a full-length mirror and practice daily, you will acquire the habit. To learn how good body alignment feels, you can stretch up through the waistline as if to slip through a narrow opening. Perhaps you have seen a cat stretch itself in the same manner and glide through a space hardly wider than a crack. Standing tall helps you lose that settled look and may increase your height as much as 1 inch. Another exercise that is recommended by posture authorities is standing with your lower back, shoulders, and head touching a wall, and keep knees relaxed and heels out 2 to 3 inches from the wall, and feet together with toes pointing straight ahead. To retract the abdominal muscles, flatten your spine so completely that it touches the wall even at the natural hollow. If your shoulders and arms feel rigid, limber them by bending forward from the waist and letting the arms hang loosely. To then straighten up gradually and your entire spine and the back of your head touch the wall. Keep your head level and chin at right angles to your neck. Then shift your weight forward away from the wall. And still with knees, shoulders, and arms relaxed, buttocks down and under. and abdomen muscles retracted and firm. Do not stiffen and lock your knees, for this exaggerates greatly the normal hollow of the back. Acquiring the feeling of body of good alignment is half the battle. Anyone who's experienced the difference between buttocks flattened down and tucked under, and buttocks jutting out into a lordosis curve, or the difference between a retracted, firm abdomen and a slumped, extended one, will want to practice daily until balanced standing posture becomes easy and natural. The body then appears more slender, more graceful, more alert. If poor carriage is marked, consult an authority in physical education for further instruction. The action lay figure. Directions are given for constructing a lay figure in action to explain graphically how the body maintains balance as it moves. This figure appears more relaxed because the weight is balanced on one foot and the figure's turned very slightly. Constructing it only once, I'm not sure what they're, constructing it only once and analyzing the action increases understanding of balance and motion. Practicing drawing this pose, as well as many others, develops skill in figure drawing, a necessity for anyone who aspires to be a fashion artist. A sketch was made from a photograph of the Venus Serene, and guidelines for drawing the figure were introduced on the sketch. The Venus was chosen because the pose is natural, only slightly turned, and therefore comparatively easy to draw. Any photograph showing the action of the body clearly could have been used. A photograph is the best substitute for a live model. Drawing from a photograph is close to drawing from life. So the action line parallels shoulder, lines out the waist, parallel both shoulder and hip action lines. So this is the action line of the hip. Center of body line that goes vertically across down. Vertical balance line, pit of neck to arch of supporting foot. Parallels hip at the knees. Obviously, otherwise you'd be twisted. Parallels hip on the ankles as well. Okay. Directions. 1. Let's see. So it says rule a 12-inch vertical. This is a balance line. The balance line always runs from the pit of the neck to the arch of the supporting foot and is absolutely vertical. Mark off the same vertical divisions as for the figure. And study the action of the model and copy first the center of body line. This is the action line, not the vertical balance line. The action line was this right here. It runs from the pit of neck through the center of breast and waist and hips to the arch of supporting foot. Build a figure outward from this line. Do not try to copy the contour. Draw the shoulder guideline. And notice that it slants slightly because one shoulder is held higher than the other. Draw the guidelines through the bust and waistline parallel to the shoulder guideline. So you have 3 parallel lines on the top part of the body and 3 parallel lines on the bottom part. And they're not necessarily in the same directions. So then, draw the shoulder guideline. Notice that it slants because one shoulder is held higher than the other. Draw guidelines through bust and waist, parallel to the shoulder, etc. Then draw guidelines at the hips, knees, and ankles, and all parallel to the lower waist guideline. They're doing 2 waist lines. One is parallel to the shoulders and one to the... That's actually not... They should do that at the hips, no? This is the waist and this is the hip. Because when you switch your position, you don't switch it at your waist, you switch it at your hips, I believe. So in either case, you have the 2 different direction of guidelines, 3 and 3. 3 for shoulder, bust, waist, and 3 for hip, knee, and ankle. And then drop guidelines from shoulder to bust and parallel to the center of body line. Okay, so that's these ones that vertically go down. Draw the arm assist lines, junction of arm and shoulder. I guess they mean like arm and shoulder, like over here. This is the shoulder. Build a figure outward from the center of the body line, visualizing its roundness and completing each of the following segments one at a time. Shoulder to waist, waist to hip. So I guess those are the arms. That's what it's called. Arm C, arm side, whatever. And then, so the segments that following are shoulder to waist, waist to hip, and hip to ankle. Sketch lightly the supporting leg, the leg on which the model bears weight. The center of the arch of his foot must always fall on the original vertical balance line. The non-supporting leg and whole foot should appear relaxed. Notice that the hip is higher and the waistline appears to fold or bend more on the side of the body which supports the weight, and conversely, on the opposite side, the waistline flattens somewhat, and the hip, knee, ankle, and foot drop slightly lower. So there's a tilt. And then stand in front of the mirror with your weight balanced on one foot to see for yourself that the balance line runs from the pit of the neck to the arch of the supporting foot. Always be truly vertical. Tip or move that you are not vertically aligned and you will instantly lose your balance and tip over. Instinctively you will reach for chair table to regain support. This divides the support between your foot and your hand. The rule of a true vertical from the pit of the neck to arch of supporting foot also applies to mounting all fashion drawings or clippings. The vertical balance line must always be parallel to the side of the paper. If it is not, the mounted figure appears tipped. So there should be a center line regardless, like this flamingo. So otherwise, if you're not balanced and you don't have a straight line going on, oh my God, it just started raining. Then you will tip over. I think we're gonna pause. Maybe we'll try to do this diagram, third time out, in the next part. Thank you guys so much. My page is facebook.com/YosAllPlay, and I'll see you guys later. Me and my flamingo say